It took 6 men to stop the Duke from storming the stage at the 1973 Academy Awards. You saw Sacheen Littlefeather refuse Marlon Brando's Oscar that night. The whole world did. But what the cameras didn't show was the brawl happening 30 feet away in the wings. And the secret order, the director screamed into his headset to make sure John Wayne never reached that microphone. Now, I've spent the last 2 weeks digging through the Academy's 1973 production archives, reading eyewitness reports from the backstage director Marty Pacetta, and studying Wayne's own letters written in the days after. What I found isn't just a story about Hollywood. It's a story about the death of an America that men like John Wayne thought they were protecting. Because that night, March 27th, 1973, wasn't just about an award. It was a knife fight between old Hollywood and a new world that no longer cared about their rules. Let me show you what really happened. Here's the moment. Sacheen Littlefeather is on stage. She's 26 years old, Apache, wearing buckskin and turquoise. She's just refused the Best Actor Oscar on behalf of Marlon Brando, and half the audience is booing her as she spat on the flag. Backstage, John Wayne is shaking, not from fear, but from rage. Director Marty Pacetta later said Wayne had to be physically restrained by 6 security guards. Wayne wanted to drag Sacheen off that stage himself. He told the guards, and I'm quoting a secondhand report here, "Get her off, or I will." The Duke was 73 years old. He'd had a lung removed, and it still took 6 men to keep him from charging out there. But why? Why did this decorated war film icon, this symbol of American grit, lose his mind over a 60-second speech? To understand that, we have to rewind. Marlon Brando won Best Actor for The Godfather. No surprise. But Brando wasn't going to show up, not because he was lazy, because he was furious. Just weeks before the Oscars, the FBI and U.S. Marshals had laid siege to Wounded Knee, South Dakota. Native American activists were protesting 200 years of broken treaties. Brando saw Hollywood's treatment of Native people in film, the savages, the extras, the war-whooping stereotypes, and he decided the Oscars could go to hell. So he sent Sacheen Littlefeather in his place. She walked on stage, raised her hand, declined the Oscar, and read a statement about the misrepresentation of Native Americans in film and television. The room exploded. Some clapped, some booed. Clint Eastwood came out later and made a joke about it. But John Wayne, he didn't joke. He went nuclear. But if you think Wayne was the only one angry, you're dead wrong. Look at what happened after Sacheen left the stage. Raquel Welch, who presented with Eastwood that night, later said the tension backstage was like a powder keg. People were shouting. Some said Sacheen was brave. Others said she disrespected the troops, disrespected America, disrespected them. For Wayne, this was personal. He'd spent 30 years playing soldiers and cowboys. He saw himself as a guardian of American values. To him, Sacheen wasn't making a statement. She was spitting on everything his generation had built. But here's the tragedy. Sacheen Littlefeather was blacklisted. She never worked in Hollywood again. Not a single major role. She spent the rest of her life, almost 50 years, defending that 60-second moment. In 2022, just months before she died, the Academy finally apologized to her. 50 years later. But Wayne never did. Here's where the story gets complicated, because not everyone believes the 6 guards story is even true. Some historians say Sacheen Littlefeather exaggerated. That Wayne was angry, sure, but the restraint story was blown out of proportion over the years. They point to the fact that no photographers captured it. No video exists. Sacheen told the story dozens of times. She said she heard Wayne shouting, that she was told by stage managers that he tried to rush the stage. The guards were positioned specifically to stop him, but Wayne never confirmed it publicly. And Marty Pacetta, the director, gave conflicting reports over the years. So who do you believe? The woman who stood alone on that stage and became a symbol? Or the man who saw his America slipping away? Here's the question nobody wants to ask. Was John Wayne protecting American values? Or was he just afraid of change? Wayne grew up in a world where cowboys were heroes, where America was always the good guy, where the Oscars celebrated that. But by 1973, America was bleeding. Vietnam, Watergate, Wounded Knee. The old myths were crumbling. And when Sacheen walked on that stage, she wasn't just refusing an Oscar. She was saying, "Your stories were lies." To Wayne, that was war. That night didn't just change the Oscars. It ended the golden age of the cowboy. John Wayne died 6 years later. He never apologized. He never backed down. And whether you think he was a hero defending tradition or a relic clinging to the past, he believed he was right until the day he died. Sacheen Littlefeather lived long enough to be vindicated, but she lost 50 years of her career for a 60-second mistake. So here's my question for you. Was the Duke right to be angry? Or was Sacheen right to speak? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear your side.